We hope this seminar will not only enrich our academic knowledge, but also strengthen collaboration, broaden international perspectives, and inspire innovative practices in language education. Finally, by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I officially declare this international seminar open. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. Thank you very much for the inspiring remarks. Now we will proceed to the introduction session of today's moderator and distinguished speakers. This session will be guided by Ms. Dina Zestari, SSMPD, to Ms. Dina Destari, SSMPD. Please take over the session.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, MC, Miss Tiara Surya Amalia. Okay, I'm so happy today because I've just let my old friends and then they really come. Thank you very much from Prof. Late, Andrew, and Zoe, and I'm sure there are some. I think a little bit speechless. Yeah, I'm so happy you and I appreciate you come and join with us today. Well, thank you very much, my old friends. God bless us until the end of this agenda. Well, distinguished leadership of the education and teacher training, esteemed faculty members and scholarly peers, and our global audience convening virtually from across the globe, a very pleasant morning and a resonant welcome to this monumental international Studium Generale from my campus. Before we embark on this academic journey, let us extend our respectful greetings of peace and harmony across all faiths. Peace be upon you all and mercy and blessing from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Om Swastiastu for especially my beloved brother, Professor Rai. Today we we assemble under the academic banner of the English Language Education Study Program to decide paradigm shift that is not merely contemporary, but absolutely critical, like you can see on the flyer that already sent to all of you, charting the fluid syllabus, navigating the nexus of curriculum innovation and material design in a disrupted era. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living through an epoch characterized by unprecedented volatility and perpetual disruption. The traditional rigid curriculum is no longer a viable compass. Instead, we must embrace a fluid syllabus, one that is inherently malleable, highly responsive, and dynamically aligned with technological and pedagogical evolutions. To break down this complex landscape, we are honored to host exactly 3 elite keynote speakers today, two outstanding experts representing Indonesia, and 1 distinguished scholar joining us from India. Maybe next time, Prof. Lakes or Prof. Andrew or also Prof. Jobio. Hopefully like that, yeah? To ensure a deep and throughout explorations of the theme, each speaker will be allocated a commanding 45 minutes for their presentations. Please note that our interaction question and answer sessions will take place collectively at the very end and immediately after our third speaker completes their presentation. So please prepare your minds and write down your question for an unrevealed intellectual feast. However, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to know that I'd like to brief you on how question, answer, and prize sessions will work today. Firstly, we'll have a joint question and answer sessions after the final presentations. The second point is there are 6 lucky participants, 6 lucky participants who ask questions will receive exclusive mementos from the committee. The third one, the final winners will be announced by the Master of Ceremony, Miss Tiara, my MC, at the very end of the event. Therefore, please make sure your display name clearly shows your names, portrays your clearly institution, so we can identify you, especially the committee can identify you. If your name is called by the MC at the very end, please contact the committee directly to claim your prize. Okay, without further ado, let us launch our first academic discourse. To kickstart our session, we are honored to feature a distinguished scholar who has contributed monumentally to applied linguistic and institutional growth in Indonesia. Before I yield the floor, allow me to present a brief glimpse into his tailored academic trajectory. Our first speaker is a full professor in linguistics. He holds an extensive publications, record spanning high impact Scopus indexes, journals specializing in task-based learning, syllabus flexibility, and autonomous language learning modules. Professor Rice currently serves as a lead academic driving institutional quality and curriculum evaluations as well. I'm delighted to introduce Professor Rice as my senior colleague of mine and a fellow graduate of Udayana University, Bali. Please extend a magnificent resounding welcome to the phenomenal Professor Dr. Imaderai Jaya Widanta, SS Hempum from Politeknik Negeri Bali, Indonesia. Professor Rai, you have exactly 45 minutes to enlighten us. The virtual floor and our collective undivided attention are entirely yours. Time is yours, Professor. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mas Nina.
Excuse me, your voice is like echo, Prof. Rai.
Okay. Test. Is it from me or from the
The
computer?
sound is like echo, like twice, 3 times.
Yeah, I know. Is it on my
No, it's still.
device?
It is audible, but it's not really good to hear.
Okay. Test.
Still, Professor Rai.
Test.
The feedback is still echoing. So it's okay. Time is yours, professors. You can still fix it. We're waiting. Don't worry.
Test.
When you say test and then test.
Yeah.
Maybe the others have another suggestions or opinions how to fix these issues. The committee, maybe you also can share the slide. Let's have a look together, please, from Professor Rai, the slide PPT. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Let's prepare it.
Hello. Mas Dina.
I think Miss Dina is unmute, Miss.
Yeah,
Can you
it's okay.
hear my voice?
Yes, that's very good. Yeah, clearly louder than before. You can start, Prof. Rai. Time is yours.
Okay. So I'm so sorry. I have to use my mobile phone then because it seems that there is something problem with my device,
Yeah, it's okay.
my laptop. Okay. Thank you very much. Just call me Rai. So today I'm going to share with you actually what fluid syllabus and project-based learning. Okay. Next, please. Uh, can you help me? Okay, jump. Okay. Actually, this is good issue actually. Said by Mas Dina just now, where fixed syllabus now is in today's world is not very eligible, not very fit because of the era. Yeah, this disruptive era which is changing, which is AI influence based, right? So it seems that we can say learning in the disruptive era is characterized by fix, flexibilities, digital integration, learners' autonomy, and rapid adaptation. So less about transferring fixed knowledge, yeah, but it is more about helping learners develop the ability to respond to continuous change. Yeah. So for the language learning, especially, this era encourages communicative, task-based, project-based, yeah, and then context-aware instruction, and then also supported by emerging digital resources. So we have a lot of platform today. Yeah. So based on this issue, the reality is that first technology became integrated into everyday learning, yeah, and then curricular become flexible and context sensitive. So context sensitive mean, yeah, we have to deals with real life situation and context, yeah, and then also we have to emphasize on what 21st century skills. So everyone knows about this. Students have to be finally critical, creative, communicative, collaborative, and then digitally aware and adaptable. Yeah. And then apart from this, so we also have to shift from traditional syllabus into teacher centered into student centered. In old age, teacher centered belong to traditional syllabus was very popular, where teachers dominate the lesson, ignoring the student creativity. But now we have to focus on the student. Yeah, student are the focus of the uh, learning object. And then there is new challenges emerging in this era now. And then also we have learning resource expand beyond textbook. Before textbooks, learning was a thing which is popular. But now, since we have a lot of gadget, we have a lot of um, uh, various modality. So we have to make use this thing to support student academic achievement, right? Okay, next, please. Okay. Um, okay, what is fluid syllabus? Yeah, we can say that fluid syllabus is a syllabus that is adaptable and changing. It's mean the curricular framework allowing continuous adaptation on learning objective and matters. So the syllabus can be changed. It is not fixed. It is can be changed. It can be changed during the learning. Yeah. Who changed this? Of course, teachers with the participation of the student themselves. Yeah. And then traditional syllabus is fixed, while fluid syllabus is iterative, and then it is revisable, and then it is adaptable, flexible based on the learner's needs. Again, here we have to focus on learner's needs. Yeah. Okay. Next, please. Um. Yeah. Here are traditional syllabus, which is considered to be fixed, and then teachers control, teacher centered, and then static objective, and then predetermined material and linear progression. Yeah. While fluid syllabus shall be adaptable content, shared control between student and teachers, and then evolving objective. The objective shall be developed and changed. It could be changed, yeah, during the learning, and then flexible materials, and then non-linear progression. So um, we can say that fluid syllabus is very adaptable. It is really student-centered, and then it is based on a student need. Yeah. Okay, next. There are some features of fluid syllabus. First, it is flexible, meaning that it can be modified during the course rather than strictly following the predetermined plan. So it is not static. Yeah. Second, it is responsive. It means it responds to the learner's interests, classroom realities, technological changes, and social and global event. Yeah, it means that yeah, it is based on the context. Yeah, context flexible, and it is learner centered. Student may influence topic, material, project, direction, and pacing stages of the learning. Yeah, and then context sensitive. It means that the curriculum should be reflect, yeah, local needs, institutional condition, culture realities, and current social issues. Next, it is also continuous negotiation. Teachers and students may construct part of the learning experiences. Yeah. So in this case, project-based learning and task-based learning, especially project-based learning, will be very, very um, sportive to this kind of syllabus. And last one, it is integration of emerging resources. So here now we have digital tools, we have open education resource, we have AI assisted learning, and then real time media content. So that shall be spotted, yeah, to the kind of syllabus. Yeah. Okay, next, please. Um, so the question is why we have to adopt fluid syllabus. First, it is proved to be able to enhance relevance. It ensures the learning is meaningful in a rapidly changing context. Okay. Second, it is supporting adaptability. It means that it prepares learners for uncertain and evolving futures. Uh, yeah, it is true that today's era is considered to be uncertain era where students or teachers even or lecturers are able to make things an article because of the hands assistant of the AI and another platform. So it seems that learning is easy, making paper is easy, making PowerPoint is easy, yeah. But the problem is, what about the mastery of the learners, mastery of the student, the material mastery of the student? Are they able to master, um, cope with the materials? Yeah. So we don't believe 100% that students are able to master the material because of, yeah, the hands, the helps, the assistance of the platform. So the things that now we have to adapt the use of the platform and then utilize it in the learning. Yeah, that is mm, uh, the soul, the spirit of the syllabus. Yeah, and the next, promoting autonomy. So it encourages teachers, yeah, to redesign material and method creatively. And last one, increasing resilience. It sustains learning during disrupted era. Uh, Sustainable learning is the thing which is now highly uh, suggested, right? Okay, next, please. There are some core principles of fluid syllabus. First, it is dynamic planning. Second, it's negotiated curriculum, and then it is also multi-modality, and then also reflective teaching. And last one, it is inclusive. Yeah. Dynamic planning means the plan can evaluate throughout the semester. Yeah. Uh, it's also negotiated, meaning student may take part in the learning to shape the material, to give feedback to the teachers, and then mutually design the material. Yeah, and then it use various media and platform. You have AI, we have Gemini, we have other thing now. Yeah, it shall be used. They shall be used, but how to use it in order for the student to be more creative, and then student get things they want, and then the learning made um, meaningful. So we have to use the platform wisely in this case. Yeah, and then it reflects teaching. So teacher revise based on the feedback of the student. It means that a curriculum material can continuously be revised based on the feedback. Yeah. And last one, inclusive, it adapt to their diverse student background. Yeah. Not only one background, but multiple background of the student. Yeah. Oh, okay. Next, please. Okay. How to implement it? Yeah. In its implementation, teacher can start with broad weekly theme. Yeah, a theme of the project base. Second, the reading shall be adjusted with current event. So, what is the topic, and then we can find out the reading text based on the event or current issues. Yeah, and allow student to choose project topic. So in the project base, students are actively participating to choose to determine the topic of the research, topic of the project. Yeah. And then replace the textbook with authentic material. Yeah. In all age, textbook based learning was said to be popular. But now textbook teaching and learning seems to be boring, outdated. Yeah. And then last one, assessment is based on student progress. Yeah. So maybe UTS, UAS are maybe not use anymore to be effective assessment. But maybe assessment can be based on the progress. When the project is finished, maybe the first project, and then assessment can be done to the student. Yeah. Okay, next, please. Okay. Uh, there are actually some learning approaches which is matched with fluid syllabus. Yeah, one there is curriculum theory. Yeah, it means that how syllabus can move from a fixed document to a flexible uh, work. Yeah, framework. Yeah, so curriculum theory provides a broader foundation for understanding why curriculum student involved in the disruptive era. Constructivism, yeah. Constructivism was very popular before, which promotes student with meaningful learning. So learner construct understanding through experience and reflection and interaction. So it is very good approach of learning actually. And then CLT, yeah, communicative language teaching is actually it has been used and then continuously used as the approach in the language learning because the final function, the final goal of the student is to be able to communicate, to be able to use the language as the media for communication wisely, accordingly, yeah, grammatically. So CLT really support the fluid syllabus. Okay, next, please. Task based and problem based. Yeah, actually, task based is broad umbrella. Yeah, umbrella term, which bears some approaches like project, like problem-based learning. So task is actually an activity based on which students are given opportunity, chances to communicate. So by doing task activity, then students are able to maximally use the language. Yeah. So that's why tasks in task-based language teaching can be in the form of various things like project, like problem based, like interview, like writing, like many things. Yeah, many other things. Yeah, filling in the gap, something. Yeah, and project based is the focus of our attention today, which is correlated with this syllabus. Yeah, so project based focus on extended project where students investigate topic, collaborate, and create product. Yeah. Other three things are adaptive learning and then student-centered learning and post-method pedagogy. Yeah, they are all really supportive, coincided to the use of um, fluid syllabus. Yeah. Okay, next, please. So the question now is why fluid syllabus is important, yeah, in this era. Because first, it is AI-driven education. This era is AI-driven education. So to me, students are not are not allowed to use AI platform freely for nothing. Yeah. If they are using this platform freely and then for their work only, it means that the platform will have totally the student to do the work. Yeah. And then what is the critical thing? How to build critical thinking, how to build creativity, how to build the 21st century characteristic. Yeah, that's why they have to be involved in the one of them is project. So student only use this platform to help them doing the project. Yeah. Second, remoting learning. Yeah. A hybrid classroom and then global crisis and then changing labor market demand. So in this era, fluid syllabus is very, very supportive. Yeah, very helpful. Yeah. Thank you. Next. Okay. Fluid syllabus helps student or institution remain okay. Based on the research, institution or student will stay agile and then responsive and then innovative and future oriented because of the existence, the use of fluid syllabus. So agile mean cerdas. Yeah, they have to be um, having 21st century characteristic. Yeah, the six Cs 6C characteristic. Yeah, uh, this characteristic will be very, very built up by the use of fluid syllabus. Responsive, of course, student will be responsive because when doing project, they are collaborative. They have to discuss. They have to communicate with their friend, work together, find out the solution for the problem. They will be responsive, innovative, and then they can focus on their future. Yeah, when they are able to build their character, 21st character, and then they will be able to imagine, oh, my future will be this, this, and this. I fit with this work. I fit with these activities. So I should be doing this thing for my future life. Yeah. Okay, next, please. Okay, project. Project-based learning. What is project-based learning? Uh, the reality, I have been doing this project in. I'm so sorry. I share with you about one of my English course called Kampung Inggris Bali. Kampung Inggris Bali is an institution, a course, English course where it is located in Bali, and then I, with my friend, collaborated to manage this, to build and establish this. So in this institution, students are housed, students are living, students are given accommodation to live, to stay for a number of uh, month something to study English. Yeah, in this case, task-based language learning was adopted as one of the approach in doing the learning of the English. In project-based learning in Kampung Inggris Bali, since Kampung Inggris Bali is located really in kampung, really in interior, in village, where it is surrounded by agricultural area, rice field, farm, waterfall, mountain, hills with cold weather, good panorama. So the topic are really authentic and then context based. Yeah, like agriculture, like clean environment, culture reserve, environmental cultivation, animal farming, mina or fish edutourism, and then also waste management, and also the topic of how to raise and promote local potencies of the village for uh, to be sold to other country or to public. Yeah. So these are the topic of the project based learning in Kampung Inggris Bali. Okay, next please. Um, so how project-based learning based on fluid syllabus is done here? So yeah, when we take one topic, let's say promoting rice paddy, yeah, because Kampung Inggris Bali is located and surrounded by the rice field. So paddy is one of the maybe popular and everyday object student can see and cope with. Yeah, there. So promoting rice paddy. In this case, students are given some tasks like student have to investigate rice field, and then student have to identify point and aspect of the rice field to be shaped as learning. In this case, student have to determine what topic in the rice field shall be adopted, raised for discussion, because at make a brochure or something to present in the public, and then students have to discuss aspect of the point to be raised as a topic discussion, okay, and then students have to design material in group, yeah. Students have to collect related information from source, AI or maybe internet, dealing with rice paddy, and then connected with the rice paddy, local rice paddy in this area, yeah. And then student have to write report and then present the result, yeah. So these are actually the number of activities student have to do in the project based learning. Maybe this project will take around more than 5 meetings, let's say 5 or 6 meeting, yeah. And then what to do in the presentation session. So student have to define the PADI. Maybe student have to involve information like kind of PADIs, process of planting, problem dealing with PADI, period and duration of PADIs, crops and rice process, product made by rice, and an activity for educating student in the rice field, for example, or maybe animal farming, animal cultivation, or maybe other activities like in Bali, in the rice field, people or youngsters tend to play kite, for example. So yeah, students have to involve any information dealing with paddy rice field in the presentation. Yeah. Okay. Next, please. And okay, other project-based topic there is promoting a better picnic spot. Yeah, since Perian village where Kampung Inggris is located has a lot of sporting potencies, maybe like waterfalls, like trekking, like fish pond, and then animal farm, and then also local food, yeah, and many others. So promoting a better picnic spot is also one of our topic to um, for the student. Yeah. In this case, what have the student do is they have to investigate maybe local potencies, and then they have to identify places for picnic, and then they have to identify challenges like cleanliness, accessibilities, facilities, or maybe people, local people, and then yeah, many other things. And then they have to design an English campaign. Students have to create a promotional product like video, brochure, digital poster, or maybe a journal article, yeah, maybe for newspaper, and then they have to present a recommendation. So the final project will be making that thing promotional product, and then and they have to present, yeah, verbally. So by doing so, all skills of reading, listening, writing, and speaking are promoted and then empowered there. Ap- And also apart from there, student also learn new vocabularies, of course, new function, new language structures, new terms related to the topic. Yeah. Okay. Next, please. And then how to assess the project-based learning model. So far, what we have done, what we have been doing in Kampung English Bali is, yeah, um, process assessment, progress assessment, like the participation of the student of the group, and then problem analysis report each student have done, and then project product, and then presentation itself, and then reflective journal. Yeah. So participation, of course, we have merely find it on attendance list, and then problem analysis report. Maybe we can see from how they report the problem solving, and then also dealing with product of the project. Yeah, how they make the product and how is the product. Yeah. What is the product like, and then what is the quality of the product. Yeah, of course it is dealing with the language again. Yeah. And then how they present the product, and then how they make a reflective journal. Yeah. So those aspects are given percentage, 20%, 30%, and one 10%, and then 20%. Yeah. Okay. Next, please. And this is a sample project-based English learning worksheet. Yeah. For example, one time we give them topic about exploring rice paddy at Perian Village. Okay, Perian Village is the place where Kampung Inggris Bali is located, and then project title will be our local rice paddy at Perian Village, and then we also promote driving question like how can we introduce our local rice paddy environment to international visitors using English. Yeah. So how can we introduce our local rice paddy environment to international visitors using English? Yeah, and then here we have a form of where they can put their name, their group, date, and then the class. Yeah. We also put learning goals. So by completing this project, student will be able to first maybe use vocabulary related to the paddy, gather information through observation interview, and then collaborate in group, create final English product, and of course, they learn new vocab, learn new expression, find new vocab, so they can enrich their vocabulary, they can enrich their language, of course, and then they can enrich their ability. Yeah, speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Yeah. There are some steps. First, they have to observe. Yeah, observe like observe or visit the rice field. So they have to go into the rice field and then maybe see what happened there. So we give them some cue or sorry key questions like what can you see in the rice field, and then second, please note what activities are farming doing there, and then what situation do you notice there, and then we also provide related simple vocabulary, yeah, like farmer, irrigation, planting, and terraced rice field, in order for them to find more vocabularies. Yeah. to make to design their writing. And second, they have to interview a farmer. So we have to provide question, yeah, like um, what type of rice field do farmer usually plant here, and then how often do they harvest rice? What challenges do farmer face? And then what other sporting plants or cattle do they cultivate? And then what is the rice paddy important for? Why is rice paddy important for community? And then we also suggest them find other related question or uh, related information, maybe like what product, what food they can make, produce from rice paddy, and then maybe how to process paddy or something. Yeah. So we also have given them trigger. Yeah, in form of maybe ideas or other thing to for them to improve their critical thinking. Yeah. Okay, next please. Yeah, step C is group project planning. So in this case, student will choose final project. We actually get them to choose only one, whether they are going to make brochure or foster brochure for tourists about paddy, or foster poster about rice paddy life, or maybe short video documentary or oral presentation or digital slideshow. So, but anyway, if they are interested to make more than one final product, yeah, they are allowed. So it is actually the thing we have. We hope from them. They are more creative. They are more productive. Yeah. So they have to make this thing, one of these thing. Yeah. And then they will choose our group product is this, and why do we choose this thing? Because blah blah blah. Okay, they will contain here. Yeah. And then at reflection section, so they have to again recall their mind, yeah, by answering what did I learn from this product, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, see, beforehand, sorry, we have this thing number D. Okay, English production task. Yeah, so they have to write a paragraph, maybe one or two paragraph about the rice paddy. Yeah, rice paddy or other thing if yeah, based on the topic. So this paragraph will also be material for us to assess them, assess their progress. Yeah. So we will assess their understanding, comprehension about the topic, and then their language appropriateness. Yeah. And the topic mastery. Yeah. And last one again, reflection. Yeah. We give them some question they have to discuss with their group, and then yeah, maybe they have to write because we are going to check. Yeah, we will ask the group to present also the reflection. Maybe what did you learn from the product, from the yeah, from the product, and then what new vocabulary uh, did you learn, did you find, and then apart from vocabulary, maybe what new expression, new structure, language structures, and then also how did your group work together, the process of group work, and then problems maybe faced during the project, and then what would you improve next time? Maybe we also ask them to critically think about the shortage, the weakness of their project, their group activities, and then they have to give suggestion recommendation for betterment next time. Yeah. Okay. Next please. Do I have more pages? Okay. So lastly, I can conclude that fluid syllabus to me is closely correlated with project-based learning. Yeah, fluid syllabus is the thing which is flexible again. It is focused on building a student 21st century character like NAMC 6 yeah, collaborative, computational, cultural, and then communicative, and then also collaborative, yeah, critical, and then we have to use the platform like AI platform and then Gemini to help, yeah, to help student are allowed to use this, but they must not focus on using this all the time without doing the project. Yeah, so this platform is allowed only to help them in case of any, yeah, problems dealing with things. Yeah, and then doing the project we have to use, of course, authentic material, and then group discussion, and then we have to get the student to uh, discuss the problem. We have to give them triggering question to do the project, and then assessment. Yeah, and assessment is not strictly on the product only, but the process also, process, product, and then about their uh, maybe also their attitude. How many students are active to ask, maybe to consult, not only to do the project alone without asking things. We have to assess them, to ask to their friends or to ask to the teacher, to the tutor. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. That is the thing I can share. The thing is really cheap, really small, but I hope the student and then any other participant who join this seminar can get although little thing from my presentation, my sharing. So thank you very much. Time is given again to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Rai. What an absolutely tour de force. Thank you a lot, my senior, Professor Imade Rai Wijayanta, for beautifully illustrating that curriculum should never be static movement, but a living, breathing entirely. So I do believe, and I hope all of the participants also have an insights on adaptability were absolutely stellar. Well, before we moving to our second speaker, I'd like to remind everyone in this room briefly about how question and answer and prize sessions will work today. Firstly, all of the participants we hold joint question and answer sessions after the final presentations. The second one, lucky participants. There are 6 lucky participants. Have a look at this, 6. 6 lucky participants who ask questions will receive exclusive mementos from the committee. So the final winners will be announced by the Master of Ceremony, Miss Tiara, as the MC at the very end of the event. So therefore, hopefully we as a committee, please make sure your display names clearly shows your names, your institutions, so we can identify you. If your name is called, please contact the committee directly to claim your prize. If it is from abroad, we will send by Tiki. Inshallah by Tiki, JNA, Post Indonesia, I don't know. But I think we cannot send anything to our old friends to New Zealand because here's some of friends come and join with this seminar. Okay, thank you very much. We move transitioning smoothly along this scholarly continuum. Our second speaker brings an extraordinary wealth of expertise in navigating educational staff with absolute precision. So let us look closely at her exemplary academic portfolio. She is a highly regarded doctor of philosophy and prominent faculty member who actively serves on international editorial boards for research and innovations journals. So her extensive research focuses on English language teaching methodology, material adaptations, and bridging the gap through digital native learners. Let us extend a warm, enthusiastic welcome to the brilliant Ibu Mrs. Syarifah Kurniati, Ph.D. from Universitas Khairun, Ternate, Indonesia. Dr. Syarifah, Ibu Syarifah, Mrs. Syarifah Kurniati, are you already here?
Yes, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you hear me well?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nice to see you,
Hi,
Ibu
nice to
Syarifah
meet you.
Kurniati, PhD. Dr. Syarifah, you have 45-minute slot begins now. We are absolutely enthralled to have you. The stage is yours. The stage
Okay,
is
thank
yours.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Did my slide already?
Do you want us to help you?
Yes, for the slide, I already sent.
Thank you. Wait a moment, please. The committee, please help. Time is yours, Mrs.
Okay.
Syarifah Kurniati.
Okay, just straight to the discussion, yeah. Good morning, distinguished professors, researchers, scholars, and participants. Before discussing curriculum reforms in Indonesia, I would like to ask to reflect on one important question. Can education shape the identity of a nation? Anyone can answer? What do you think?
Yep, it's very good presentations. Anyone can help and directly question and answer discussions, yeah, Dr. Syarifah.
Yeah, I try to make a hook
It's like
at the
lecturing,
beginning.
but hopefully
Yeah,
everyone can make this more lively.
yeah. Okay. Karena waktu, because I just have 45 minutes. In Indonesia, the answer is absolutely yes. Education has always been more than teaching students how to read and write. It is a powerful instrument for building national identity, preserving culture, promoting unity, and responding to social change. Why I said that? Because Indonesia is one of the most culturally diverse countries in the world, consisting of thousands of islands, hundreds of ethnic groups, and many languages. Because of this diversity, curriculum development in Indonesia is never simple. It is influenced by history, religion, politics, colonial experiences, globalization, and community expectations. Sorry to cut off. Maybe the presenter reviews practical presentation, and I'm so happy for that. But I'm really sorry if it's getting bored for my presentation today. It's a little bit like theoretical. Yeah, it's based on my research result from my PhD just finished last year. So I said it at the beginning, but I hope and I believe that we can get some perspectives as scholars or teachers or lecturers who are here today. Okay, as I said before, our curriculum comes from historical, religion, politics, and colonial experiences. From Dutch colonial education system to post-independence reforms, and from traditional teaching methods to modern competency-based learning, Indonesia's curriculum has continuously evolved. However, curriculum reform is not only about changing textbooks or educational policies. It also involves how teachers, students, parents, and communities respond to those changes, like our previous presenters said to us, explained to us. Today, I'd like to present how Indonesian curriculum reforms developed historically, how different communities responded to these transformations, and why this discussion is important, not only for Indonesia, but also for the international educational community. Okay, can we move to the next slide, please? Yeah. This topic is highly important. Why? This matters internationally. This topic is highly important internationally because educational reform is currently one of the most significant global issues in modern society. And based on my research, many countries around the world are attempting to reform their educational system to address globalization, especially for globalization and especially for Indonesia as a developed country. Technological development, we cannot deny the advance of technological now. So the curriculum need to adjust with this condition. Multiculturalism and the demands of the 21st century, like our previous presenter explained to us. Indonesia provides a very important case study because it's one of the largest multicultural countries in the world, consisting of, consisting of island, 100 ethnic group. Indonesia curriculum reforms have always reflected broader socio-political and cultural transformations. Educational policy in Indonesia changes were often connected to political transition. When our president changed, our curriculum changed as well, such as the movement from colonialism to independence, from the old order to the new order, and later from authoritarianism to the democratic era. For example, after independence, curriculum reforms focused strongly on nationalism, character education, nation building. Later, reforms emphasized competency-based learning, decentralization, digital literacy, higher order thinking skills, and character education align with global educational trends. We cannot just stay here. We need to welcoming the globalization era. Indonesia's educational experience also demonstrates the challenges of implementing centralized curriculum reforms in a highly diverse country. So I tried to explain that many reforms were mandated nationally from Jakarta with limited teacher preparation and insufficient professional development, especially in rural and remote regions, like where I come from North Maluku, Ternate. Therefore, Indonesia's curriculum reform journey provides valuable lessons for international educators and policymakers, especially for Indonesian government, about balancing national standard, local culture in Indonesia, especially in Indonesian remote provinces, and educational quality and global competitiveness. So how to adjust the local condition, the real condition in Indonesian remote provinces with the global competitiveness. So we are, as the curriculum executor, we need to know this perspective by understanding maybe, so we can understand the curriculum into implementation, like that. Can we move to the second? Okay. The philosophical foundation of Indonesian education is deeply rooted in Pancasila, Indonesia's national ideology officially recognized in the 1945 Constitution. According to the chapter, Pancasila consists of 5 principles that I think I don't need to tell them here. Pancasila serves as the guiding philosophy for Indonesian society, including the educational system, The chapter explains that Indonesia's curriculum is intentionally designed to reflect Pancasila values and align with the national constitution. That's why the curriculum from the first curriculum after the colonialism, which is 1947 curriculum, until to Merdeka curriculum, they just stick on what they call Pancasila, the ideology of Pancasila. So I think because of that, education in Indonesia is therefore expected not only to develop intellectual abilities, but also to shape moral character, social responsibility, religious values, and national identity. I want to highlight here that curriculum reform in Indonesia has consistently emphasized the relationship between education and citizenship. Educational policies aim to produce students who are academically competent while also becoming responsible members of society. So this philosophical foundation become especially important because Indonesia is an extremely, diverse country. Education function as a unifying tool to maintain social harmony among different ethnicities, religions, and culture groups. However, I don't know, it is however or as this is just consequent. Many curriculum reforms in Indonesia include character education, civic responsibility, morality, and nationalism as essential educational goal alongside academic achievement. Next slide, please. To better understand why Indonesia's educational philosophy developed this way, we need to look at the country's historical educational background. I start with to understand Indonesia's modern curriculum reforms. It is necessary to examine the country's educational history. The chapter explains that before colonialism, Indonesia didn't have a centralized national education system. Because our curriculum before colonialism, Indonesia didn't have a centralized national education system. Education mainly developed through religious, cultural, and trading networks like religious, like Manasah. They started to learn in Manasah, and then cultural from house to house, for example, I'm Makassar. Before the colonialism, some people come to one guru, it's called guru, teacher, to ask everything, to learn at night to morning. So that's the cultural way in Makassar. Trading networks, some Indians and Arabic traders came to Indonesia, and then they spreaded their knowledge, their understanding about something to Indonesian people. So the Indonesian archipelago was historically an important trading hub connecting Middle Eastern, Indian, Chinese, and European merchants. Sorry if I talk like so. I just like to telling the history here, but I try just to tell the general thing in a big mirror, like religious traders such Hindus, Buddhists, and Muslims introduced educational practices focused in literacy, accounting, writing, and then the Chinese communities contributed as well in educational traditions, emphasizing discipline, literacy, multilingual communication, Confucius teaching, Confucian from China, and later Dutch colonialism introduced Western style formal education systems. That's the historical, yeah. However, colonial education was highly unequal and designed mainly to support colonial administration only. Educational access was restricted to certain social groups and elites, just for the noni-noni Belanda and also for the noble people in Java. As a result, Indonesia's educational system developed through a combination of indigenous traditions, religious education, and Chinese educational influence, and also colonial systems. This historical experience strongly influenced post-independence curriculum reforms. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, one of the important historical influences on Indonesian education came from Chinese Indonesian communities and their educational contribution. So, before Dutch colonization, Chinese merchants had already settled in Indonesia, creating two major communities like Toto and Pernakan Chinese communities, maybe some in Kalimantan as well, in Makassar, in Surabaya, in Java. According to the Toto community mainly came from Hakka, yeah, that's the history, and Cantonese backgrounds, while Peranakan community was influenced by intermarriage with indigenous population. Why I need to talk a little bit about Chinese educational institution in Indonesia, because it contributed significantly to literacy development, multilingual education, and commercial knowledge. In 1908, the Dutch established the first Hollands Chinese School, or HCS in Indonesia, in Batavia, specifically for Chinese students. Similar schools later developed in other Indonesian cities. And then next slide, please. The Dutch colonial period significantly shaped Indonesia's formal education system. However, as emphasized before, the colonial education structure was highly exclusive, elitist, and unequal. Why? Education during Dutch rule was designed primarily to maintain colonial control and support administrative needs, just for their needs in colonizing Indonesia. The Dutch feared that widespread education among indigenous people could encourage nationalism and independence movements. As a result, educational opportunities were deliberately restricted for us, the local, the Indonesian people, the native. Students at that time were categorized according to race and social status. Indigenous students, elite Bumiputra students, and students of European or Chinese descent attended different schools with different educational opportunities. For example, ordinary indigenous students attended village schools called folk school, sekolah rakyat, while elite indigenous children attended Hollandse inland school. European children mainly attended Europe's Lajer schools. So this educational stratification created significant social inequality and limited access to quality education for rural and poor communities. I want to highlight also how Dutch colonialism weakened indigenous educational authorities such as pesantren by marginalizing local religious leaders and relocating Islamic institutions to rural areas. These colonial educational inequalities later became one of the major reasons why post-independence governments pursued educational reform focused on equality, nationalism, and social justice. Next slide, please. After independence, Indonesia began transforming its education systems to build a stronger national identity and more equal educational opportunities. After Indonesia gained independence in 1945, education became one of the most important tools for nation building. Indonesia's curriculum reforms reflected political, economic, and socio-cultural transformations occurring within society. So as I said before, the first post-independence curriculum known as 1947 subject plan replaced the Dutch colonial curriculum and focused strongly on nationalism, religion, and character education. So subsequent reforms occur repeated in 1952 curriculum, 1964 curriculum, 1968, 1975, and 1984, 1994, 2004, 2006 KTSP, and curriculum 2013, 2013 curriculum. I want to explain that curriculum reforms often reflected political transitions. For example, curriculum 1968 reflected the political shift from Sukarno's old order to Suharto's new order government. Dari Soekarno, from Soekarno to new Orde Baru, pemerintahan Orde Baru. During this period, education became highly centralized and standardized under government control. I got this statistics data from my research, from my PhD dissertation. Later, reforms introduced competency-based learning, student-centered approaches, and local content curriculum. However, despite attempts at decentralization, many educational decisions remain controlled by the central government in Jakarta. These continuous reforms demonstrate Indonesia's effort to modernize education while balancing national identity, globalization, and social development. Okay, so the aim of the curriculum to balance national identity, globalization era, welcoming globalization, and social development get disrupted by these center approaches and control from the central government in Jakarta. Next slide, please. Curriculum 2013 represented one of Indonesia's most ambitious educational reforms. Curriculum was introduced partly in response to poor Indonesian performance in international assessments such as PISA and TIMSS, as well as concern about moral decline, student violence, and examination cheating, and the result of Ujian Akhir Nasional. So curriculum 2013 aimed to transform education from traditional rote memorization, menghafal, toward competency-based, student-centered, and character-based learning. That's the main purposes. And curriculum 2013 emphasized cognitive, affective, psychomotor development, encouraging students not only to memorize information, but also to apply knowledge in real-life context. Teachers were encouraged to implement modern teaching approaches such as guided discovery learning, problem-based learning, and project-based learning. So I will tell here everything. I mean all the perfect purposes from 2013. But let's see, it is did it work or not? The curriculum also emphasized 21st century, like our previous presenter explained to us. 21st century skills, including critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, digital literacy again, and higher order thinking skills, HOTS. In addition, Curriculum 2013 strongly integrated chapter education. The government believed that education should foster honesty, responsibility, religiosity, nationalism, social awareness, and ethical behavior. Okay, now we come to the real situation. However, implementation created major challenges. The chapter explains that many teachers lacked sufficient training, especially in rural areas such as North Maluku, where I work. Teachers struggle to adapt to new teaching methods, assessment, and technological demands. Because we have in rural areas, rural provinces, we have some issues like access, infrastructure, facilities, teachers development, teachers pedagogy, competence. These challenges demonstrate that educational reform requires not only policy innovation, but also teachers' readiness, infrastructure, and long-term professional development. It's okay for Java, for Central, like Jakarta in Java, because the school over there are well managed already, but different with us in a rural area, in remote provinces. Next slide, please. However, educational reform is not only about policy changes, but also about how society responds to those changes. Community response toward curriculum reform in Indonesia have been highly diverse because the different situation, different location, geographical. So because we know the most important issue in Indonesia is peripheral issue. Peripheral means where the Indonesian, a geographical condition is a layer. So the closer the schools from the center, the better facilities, the better teachers development, pedagogy they have. And that's the fact. I already, in my dissertation, I show some data about this. Some educators and communities welcomed Curriculum 2013 because it promoted innovation, creativity, student-centered learning. Many researchers viewed the reform as necessary to prepare Indonesian students for globalization and technological advancement. Again, however, strong criticism and concern from teachers, media, and educational organizations appeared. For example, the Federation of Indonesian Teachers Association argued that the government focused too heavily on changing curriculum structures without adequately improving teacher quality and preparation. From PGRI. Teachers often experience confusion due to the frequent curriculum changes and insufficient professional training. In many cases, teachers misunderstood student-centered learning as requiring minimal teacher involvement, leading to ineffective classroom practice. That's the fact based on my observation in my dissertation. Media discussion also criticized the government for continuously revising the curriculum without ensuring implementation readiness. Keep changing after the political, 5 years political presidential change, they keep changing the curriculum as well. Additionally, schools in rural and remote regions face significant barriers, including poor internet access, lack of educational resources, and limited professional development opportunities. So very complex challenges. Overall, based on my dissertation, communities in North Maluku, in one province, because I got randomly participants from some stakeholders in education. Their response, they demonstrate that curriculum reform is not simply a technical policy issue, but a social process involving teachers, parents, students, administrators, and broader society. Next slide, please. This community response also reveals several challenges, of course, but at the same time, they open important opportunities for future educational improvement. Several major challenges within Indonesia's educational reform process. One of the biggest issues is the frequent and continuous curriculum changes. Everyone knows this. While reform aims to improve education rapidly, policy shifts often create instability and unstable and implementation difficulties for schools and teachers. Another major challenge is centralization. Although the decentralization policies such as school-based management were introduced, much curriculum control remains centralized under the Ministry of Education. We cannot be denial of this fact. Unequal education access and infrastructure between urban and rural regions. Teachers in remote areas often experience professional isolation, limited internet connectivity again, and inadequate training opportunities again. However, alongside these challenges, I found in my research, Indonesia also has significant opportunities. Curriculum reforms increasingly emphasize 21st century skills, critical thinking, digital literacy, creativity, thoughts, and recent reforms such as Curriculum Merdeka, or what they call in English, I forgot, sorry, provide greater flexibility and autonomy for schools while encouraging project-based learning and local cultural integration. For me, for myself, I based on my research, Curriculum 2013 curriculum is the most most ambitious curriculum, but for me, the most it's not ambitious, the most brightest curriculum is Curriculum Merdeka. Why I said that? Because the Ministry of Education at that time, Nadiem Makarim, already broke, like, as I say, like if I can say, like, bring Indonesian educational system Indonesian curriculum from the darkness to the brighter, because curriculum from 1947 curriculum to 2013 curriculum, the government design curriculum by themselves. They just design and then throw it to the teachers. They don't need to know the readiness of the grassroots, teachers here. The readiness, including the pedagogical, teachers development, professional development, and facilities. But Curriculum Merdeka made a gerakan, a guru penggerak. Like they made a piloting project before they put the curriculum in the regulation. Before mandated that it is you have to do this. So the Curriculum Merdeka have a look at the readiness of the schools. The ones who are ready, go with that. But the ones who are not ready, you can use the previous curriculum. So I think this is a very wise curriculum design in Indonesia ever after. Challenges. Nice. Next slide. Oh, already. Thank you. Sorry. The previous one, please. Oh, challenges. Okay. Oh, already challenges? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Confused, Dr.
Yeah, yeah,
Syarifah.
Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. So yeah, after discussing the challenges and opportunities, I would like to conclude the main points of my presentation today. Indonesia's curriculum reform journey reflects the national historical experiences, political transformations, cultural diversity, and educational aspirations. From colonial education system to modern competency-based reforms, curriculum development in Indonesia has continuously evolved in response to changing social, political, and global conditions. And there are 4 major characteristics of Indonesian curriculum reform. Frequent curriculum changes. This is based on my talk, yeah. So I included into 4 major characteristics of Indonesian curriculum reform: frequent curriculum changing, centralized implementation, insufficient teacher preparation, and challenges in assessment systems. While reforms such as Curriculum 2013 and Curriculum Merdeka aim to modernize education and strengthen 21st century competencies, implementation challenges remain significant, especially regarding teacher training, infrastructure, educational quality, peripheral issue. At the same time, Indonesia's experience highlights the importance of balancing national educational goals with local cultural needs and community realities, which is good because we are a multicultural country. Ultimately, curriculum reform in Indonesia is not about academic achievement. Sorry to say, it is deeply connected to national identity, character development, but it's good, social justice, and preparing a future generation for an increasingly globalized world. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this presentation provides useful insight into Indonesian curriculum reform and its social impact. I would be very happy to discuss further during the question and answer session. Thank you. Assalamualaikum
Thank you.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I feel lovely to hear your presentation, Sister Syarifah. And then, when hearing you talk about the various curricula we've had over the years left, we conflict on how to react. Should I smile, look confused, or I just didn't know? But then, yeah, that's simply the reality of our nation's curriculums. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Happen.
Yeah, that's right. But you know that you said at the last time that's national identity. It's a little bit, a shame. Oh, I don't know. Maybe to be honest, later we
With
can.
some facts happen in Indonesia
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
I
That's
know.
right.
So contradictive, but
Yeah, that's right.
curriculum make
Yeah,
it.
that's.
Yeah.
And then thank you very much. Absolutely profound and masterful. Thank you, Sister Dr. Syarifah. You have brilliantly decoded how material design acts as the vital conducts bridging abstract curricular theory to impactful classroom reality. That's outstanding. Thank you very much. And then before we moving to the last presenter, Dr. Sridevi, again, I would like to remind all of the participants here that in briefly related to on how question and answer and prize sessions will work today. The committee hold a joint question and answer sessions after the final presentations. And the second one, there are 6 lucky participants who ask question will receive exclusive mementos from the committee. The final winners will be announced by the MC at the very end of the events. So it will be announced by Miss Tiara. So therefore, please make sure your display name clearly shows your full names, portraits your institutions, so the committee we as a committee can identify you. If your name is called by the MC, or Miss Tiara, please contact the committee directly to claim your prize. Except my professors, as well as all of the friends in New Zealand. We cannot send you anything. We just send you Pray and Lovely from Indonesia. So next, ladies and gentlemen, let us transcend geographical borders as we welcome our third international keynote panelist, joining us all the way from India. Actually, she is an associate professor with a highly distinguished career spanning over a decade of higher education excellence. As a core faculty member in the Department of English, her research cuts across literacy criticisms, advanced language studies, cross-cultural pedagogy, and socio-educational frameworks. So her works remains highly influential in analyzing contemporary structural shifts in modern education. It is an absolute privilege to introduce the globally acclaimed scholar, Associate Professor Dr. Sridevi from the prestigious RM Institute of Science and Humanities in India. Sister, Associate Professor Sridevi, sisters, it is an honor to have you grace our Studium General today. You have 45 minutes to guide us through your perspective, and right after your sessions, we will open the floor for questions and answers. The floor is yours, Sister Sridevi.
Thank you for a warm welcome. Hope you can, my voice is audible. Can you confirm it?
Excuse me, the committee, would you like to help Sister Dr. Sridevi to share screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Time is yours, Sister Sridevi.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. It's a profound honor to speak before you, the brilliant minds of UN Sultan Muhammad Idris Samarinda, a university whose very name honors the spirit of knowledge, leadership, and service. Today, I want us to take a journey together, not a journey through geography, but through ideas. Ideas that are shaping, reshaping, and sometimes disrupting the very foundation of how we teach and how we learn. I'm Dr. Sridevi Thangavil, Associate Professor at SRM Institute of Science and Technology in Chennai, India. My work usually sits at the intersection of language, culture, curriculum design, and material development. And today in this Studium Generale, I want to share ideas that I believe are very urgently relevant, not just for academics, but for every person in this room who cares about future of education. Through the previous presenter, I could understood that the academic advancement in Indonesia is far ahead than any other nation. But anyway, in today's presentation of mine, I'm going to concentrate on not particularly Indonesia or particularly India. It is a common problem in curriculum and assessments and what are all the changes we need. So this is what I'm going to discuss. So before I start this presentation, I want to ask one question first. Can a rigid, static curriculum truly prepare students for a fluid and uncertain future? So this question forms today's, the heart of today's workshop. We are living in a world where change is no longer occasional, it has become permanent. The classroom that existed 10 years ago is dramatically different from the classroom we experience today. The way students learn, communicate, think, collaborate, even imagine their futures have transformed rapidly because of globalization, digitalization, artificial intelligence, pandemics, and social change. In this regard, today's presentation, we are going to explore what we mean by disrupted era, why curriculum innovation is essential, how educational material design must evolve, the opportunities and challenges posed by artificial intelligence, the importance of learner-centered approaches, and finally, the future role of teachers in shaping meaningful education. Dear participants and my co-presenter and the organizers, throughout this presentation, I encourage you not to think yourself a student, but as a future curriculum designers, innovators, facilitators, and transformative education. Next slide, please. Okay, so I wish to start the next slide again with a question. Please raise your hand if your life today looks significantly different from what you imagined it would look like just 5 years ago. If anyone asks this question, I would be the first person who raised the question. See, so there was a drastic change in between the 5 years. So before I get into the presentation seriously, I wish to tell you what is disruptive era. So the term disruption refers to a sudden transformative changes that alter the way system functions. Especially in education, disruption had affected almost every aspect of teaching, learning, classrooms, assessments, communications, materials, pedagogy, and even the role of a teacher themselves. So as far as education is concerned, 3 major disruptions influence the system. Among the 3, the first one is the technological acceleration, what is called the technological speed. Technology today evolves faster than educational system can adapt. Every few months, new tools emerge. AI platforms, collaborative applications, visual classrooms, digital simulations, and content generation software. Skills that were considered essential yesterday may become outdated tomorrow. This rapid technological acceleration creates both opportunities and challenges for educators. Students are now growing up in digitally saturated environments. They learn differently, consume information differently, and communicate differently. As educators, we must therefore ask ourselves, are our teaching methods aligned with the realities students experience outside the classroom? Next question is, are we preparing learners for the future or only for the examination? So keep the answers with you. Let us discuss it later. So the next disruption is, especially in this century, is COVID-19. Overnight, dear friends, literally overnight, billions of students lost access to traditional classrooms. Schools, universities, and training centers were forced to reinvent themselves without a blueprint, without time, and often without resources. This pandemic was not just a health crisis, it was a pedagogical earthquake. The pandemic revealed important truths. Educational systems were often unprepared for sudden change. Digital inequality remains a serious issue. Emotional well-being is deeply connected to learning. Flexibility becomes essential for survival. So the third major disruption is artificial intelligence. Perhaps this is the most transformative of all. It would be better if I get answers from the audience side, at least for this question. So in the last 30 days, how many of you have used AI tools like ChatGPT, Grammarly, or any other AI tools? Can I get an answer? Okay, I could conclude that almost everyone, not even 30 days, even before one day we could have used. Okay, so the tools, how they are accessible, for what we are accessing it. So to generate essays, create lesson plans, translate languages, summarize articles, design presentations, and answer complex questions instantly. So this raises a most critical question of our time. What is the irreplaceable role of a human teacher? Who will cultivate the following among the students? So students can get essays and translate them, translate languages, summarize articles, everything. They could get answers for the complex questions in a blink of eyes. But who will cultivate the following ethics? That is the needs of critical thinking, interpretation, creativity, ethical reasoning, analytical judgment, and producing originality. So these are all the questions I leave before you for the further discussion. Next slide, please. Okay, so first I want to explain you the definition for a fluid syllabus. Imagine a river. A static syllabus is like a canal. It has fixed walls, predetermined paths, no ability to adapt when a storm arrives or when the landscape changes. A fluid syllabus is like a living river. It knows its destination, but it adapts its course based on the terrain, the season, and the needs of the community it flows through. So I wish to give a difference between the traditional syllabi and fluid syllabus. So a traditional syllabi has fixed topics, fixed timelines, fixed assessments, fixed outcomes. Whereas a fluid syllabus, in contrast, it is dynamic, adaptive, and responsive. It doesn't mean that it is fluid syllabus abandoning academic standards or discipline. Rather, it means creating a curriculum framework flexible enough to evolve the following needs: the needs of learners, technological development, social realities, emerging knowledge, and global challenges. So let me unpack this definition carefully with three important points. The first point is how the fluid syllabus is responsive and inclusive. Responsive means that if a major global event occurs, a new technological development, a social crisis, a scientific breakthrough comes, the teacher has the freedom and the framework to weave it into the classroom without waiting for the next curriculum cycle. A fluid syllabus allows educators to integrate current realities into classroom learning. For an example, a language teacher can discuss about climatic change, global conflict, media literacy, mental connect in a language classroom, because in this globalized globalized era, every subject is interconnected. So this is why interdisciplinary is highly promoted. A responsive curriculum, therefore, connects education with reality. Students learn more meaningfully when education feels relevant to the world around them. Inclusive means that the syllabus doesn't assume all students arrive with the same background, language proficiency, or life experience. The next point which I wish to insist is acknowledges learner diversity, which is connected with inclusivity. No classroom today is truly homogeneous because students differ in family background, learning styles, linguistic backgrounds, cultural experiences, technological access, emotional needs, and academic abilities. Some learn through listening, others learn through doing, some need more time to learn, and others race ahead. A rigid syllabus often assumes that all students learn identically. A fluid syllabus recognizes the individuality, and a fluid syllabus doesn't punish this diversity. Instead, it honors it. So the next point which I wish to insist on is structure with flexibility. I want to be very clear about something that often causes misunderstanding. A fluid syllabus is not an absence of structure. It is not academic chaos without planning. It is not a curriculum that changes every Monday morning based on the teacher's mood. It doesn't mean reducing academic quality. A fluid syllabus, a fluid curriculum is it has a discipline with flexibility. It is a framework that holds both academic rigor and the ability to adapt. It has a structure, and within the structure, there is a room for improvisation, creativity, and responsiveness to the learners and the facilitators. So, this is how a fluid syllabus balancing stability with adaptability, outcomes with creativity, standards with innovation. So move on with the next slide. Thank you. So next we are going to discuss, we are going to see about the curriculum innovations, what we can do in a modern era. So every slide I wanted to start with a question, but as I don't get answer from the audience side for the questions, I am straight away go to the points I want to discuss. Okay. So the first thing in the curriculum innovation in 20th century skill is, for many decades, educational systems across the world largely emphasized memorization, repetition, and standardized testing. Success was often measured by how accurately students reproduce information. They study, they memorize, they repeat, and they reproduce it as exams. So, however, the demand of the 21st century have transformed dramatically. The World Economic Forum, UNESCO, and education researchers globally have reached a powerful consensus that the skills that will define success in the coming decades are not content specific. We have to mark this alert, my dear educators. They are creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. The 4 C's and the problem skill, along with problem skill, this is what going to define the success in the coming decades. So even we could find the changes even in today's trend itself. Notice what is not in this list. Memorizing the periodic table, reciting historical dates, solving textbook equations. This doesn't mean fundamental knowledge is unimportant. It means that, I wish to stress here, it means that fundamental knowledge is now the floor. That will be always the floor, but not the ceiling. The ceiling is something different. The 4 C's along with the problem solving skill are not extra skills anymore. They are essential survival skill for the coming decades. In today's transformation-rich world, memorizing facts is less valuable than knowing how to evaluate, interpret, and apply information meaningfully. For an example, a student may easily search information online, but can they distinguish reliable information from the misinformation? Can they synthesize idea? Can they communicate ethically and persuasively? That is where education becomes truly transformative. So the next point I wish to insist is in the curriculum innovation, that must be learner-centered approach. The point which was already discussed by the previous speaker. Anyway, I too insist on few points. For long decades, education was designed around the teachers as the source of all knowledge and the students as an empty vessel to be filled. A Brazilian educator, Paulo Freire, called this as the banking model of education. Modern curriculum innovation places the learner at the center. Students actively construct knowledge through inquiry, reflection, dialogue, and collaboration. They are not merely consumers of information. So now they become the producers of understanding. The role of the teacher is shifted from information transmitter to learning facilitators. This doesn't reduce the importance of a teacher. In fact, it increases it. Facilitating meaningful learning requires deep pedagogical skill, emotional intelligence, and intellectual flexibility. So next, I'm going to move on with the interdisciplinary learning, the importance of interdisciplinary learning in the innovation of curriculum. So again, let me take climatical changes as an example. So can we teach climatical change with a single discipline in this modern era? Ask yourself. Probably the answer would be no. Because to make a student to understand what is climatical change, it requires science, economics, politics, ethics, literature, and media. When the real world problems are interdisciplinary, and must our curricula also be interdisciplinary? Traditional education often separates subjects into isolated compartments. Interdisciplinary education helps students understand complexity. It teaches them that knowledge is interconnected. So the next point, what we are going to see is authentic assessments. So as far as my opinion is concerned, the assessment method is getting evolved, but it is not completely evolved so far. The traditional exams often measure short-term memory rather than deep learning, because mostly in most of the universities, we assess the short-term memory. Modern education innovation therefore explores alternative forms of assessment such as portfolios, presentations, podcasts, projects, reflective journals, multimedia storytelling. These methods allow students to demonstrate learning more creatively and meaningfully. The authentic assessment mirrors real-world professional environments. In most careers, success depends not on writing 3 hours exam, but it relies on collaboration, communication, creativity, and practical application. Therefore, curriculum innovation must also transform assessment culture. The next slide, please. The next slide is about the role of artificial intelligence in education, which is a need of an hour. First of all, we are going to see the opportunities which are created through artificial intelligence. So we have to accept that AI offers remarkable possibilities for education. The foremost possibility, the opportunity is personalized learning at a scale no human teacher could match. Imagine a system that tracks each student's pace, preferred learning mode, the knowledge gap, and adapts contents in real time. It can provide instant feedback on writing, grammar, and reasoning. It can democratize access to education. A student in rural Indonesia or a village in India can now access explanation comparable to those offered at elite universities simply through a smartphone. However, alongside these opportunities come serious responsibilities. One major concern is over-dependence. If students really rely entirely on AI-generated responses, they may gradually lose analytical ability, independent thinking, and creativity, and especially intellectual curiosity. So, how we are going to meet out all these challenges? So, here comes the responsibilities of an educator like us. Education should not merely reproduce consumers of AI-generated information. It must produce critical thinkers capable of questioning AI inputs. AI systems can also generate inaccurate and biased information. Therefore, students must learn digital literacy and critical evaluations. So these are all what the educators' responsibilities to make the students aware of digital literacy. We must also develop higher order thinking, asking students not just to produce answers, but to evaluate, synthesize, and create answers. Deliver the slides closing philosophical statement with slow, clear emphasis. With AI-generated essays and assignments become increasingly sophisticated, traditional homework models may lose effectiveness. This doesn't mean educators should panic, or instead assessment methods must evolve. You see, when we keep the 3 hours exam model, students would really just reproduce what they perceived through the AI content. So instead, when we change the assessment methods like oral presentations, reflective writings, collaborative discussions, process-based assignments, and experiment learning tasks, the students' output will be something different. Okay, and students, along with the AI content, students also will start implying their originality, their critical thinking, and their reflections on the content. Okay, and another critical aspect is the preservation of human values. Okay, technology can process information rapidly, but technology cannot replace how a teacher can be empathetical, compassionate, and give moral wisdom, giving human mentorship, and giving emotional understanding and authentic inspirations. So machines can generate content, but it cannot truly nurture a student's confidence and emotional growth or ethical maturity, what a teacher can do. Therefore, educators remain irreplaceable. The future teacher is not someone competing against AA, but someone guiding students to use AA wisely and responsibly. Next slide, please. Material design. See, for a long period, our curriculum is dependent on textbooks. Textbooks has the authority. It was photocopied, passed around, underlined in ink, and treated almost like scripture. If it is in a textbook, that was true. If it was not in a textbook, it was not examinable. That world, that era has gone. Educational materials now extend far beyond the printed books. So today's students are surrounded by video, podcasts, social media, interactive platforms, visual storytelling, digital simulations, and AI-generated contents. So let us walk through six different, majorly six material types. The first one comes video and podcast. Especially when we take the English language learners, like a TED Talk, a BBC podcast episode, or a YouTube documentary. These are living language materials. Videos can simplify complex concept visually. Podcasts can improve listening and reflective learning. Okay, even though we spend 1 hour to explain a complex concept, student can understand that complex concept within a 10 minutes video. That is the power of videos, because we have visually students and auditory students. Auditory students, they get benefited mostly out of podcasts, and visually students, they benefited out of videos. So next comes the interactive apps. Again, when we take language learning, applications like Duolingo, they give an active engagement through gamifications, immediate feedbacks, and social competition, make the genuinely a motivating one. If we take science subjects, the digital simulations, it helps a lot. In science education, so digital simulation allows students to conduct experiments that would be physically impossible, prohibitively expensive, or ethically problematic in real life, dissecting virtual organisms, simulating climatical models, running historical scenarios. So even computing students, they can have e-labs. Okay. So the next material design is AI generated contents. So you see, AI become a co-designer of materials nowadays, even in the life of an educator. An educator can create quizzes, lesson plans, discussion prompts, visual aids, language exercises, and personalized learning tasks through AI contents. Okay. So this is how the AI tools can save the time of the teachers, the educators, and the responsibility rely on the educators, because we have to carefully evaluate the quality, accuracy, and the ethical implications of AI generated materials. Okay. And this is how a teacher can become a curator and the critical editor, not just as a producer of the material. And next, move on to the infographics and collaboration platforms like. See, so the visual literacy in the 21st century is a skill. The platforms like the tools like Canva, it helps the students and the educators to communicate a complex information easily through a visual. And collaborative platforms like Google Workplace, it allows students to co-create knowledge artworks in the real time. Infographics can summarize information efficiently, and the interactive platforms can encourage collaborations. Nowadays, it doesn't mean that a student from the same classroom has to work for a project. A student from two nations also can collaborate for a common project through the interactive platforms and all. Material design today, therefore, requires educators become designers, curators, facilitators, and digital navigators. Importantly, effective material design is not about using technology for entertainment alone. Technology must serve pedagogical purpose. A visually attractive resource without meaningful learning value doesn't automatically improve education. Therefore, every educational material should answer these questions. Does it support learning objectives? Does it engage learners meaningful? Does it encourage critical and reflective thinking? So this is how we have to, the educators should design the materials, the educational materials. So every time when you rely on AI content, materials or any other videos and podcasts, we have to, the educators must ask all these questions. Does it support learning objectives? Does it engage learners meaningfully? Does it encourage critical and reflective thinking? With this, I move on to the next slide on learner-centric education and flexible assessments. Okay, so I can't avoid asking this question because I'm so curious to get an answer for this question. This question would be engageable for future educators and the present educators too. Whom you call as the best teacher you ever had? Can anyone give me an answer? Whom you call? I don't want the names, but I want to know the qualities. The best teacher whom you call. Okay, if this question is asked to me, I would not tell the person who knew most facts. I would not mention a person's name, who would not one the most impressive, who has most impressive qualifications. I would mention the one who made me to feel that my voice mattered. The one who gave me a space to question. The one who gave me a space to make mistakes. The one who gave me a space to discover. This is what, here is that a teacher was practicing learner-centered education. So we are going to see the principles of learner-centered education. Learner-centered education repositions the student from the passive recipient of knowledge to an active participant in the construction of knowledge. It is built on several fundamental principles. First thing, Students are active participants, not passive listeners. The classroom is a space for dialogue, not monologue. Second, inquiry, collaboration, and independent thinking are not extracurricular activity, they are the curricular activities. Third, flexibility for different learning styles. A student who struggle with written exams may excel in oral presentations, in creative projects, or in peer mentoring roles. So thus, learner-centered education values students' voices, inquiry, collaboration, reflection, creativity, and independent thinkings. In such classrooms, learning becomes interactive and participatory. Students are encouraged not only to answer questions, but also to ask meaningful questions. So the teacher's role, therefore, transforms significantly. The teachers become facilitators, mentors, guides, motivators, and many of the times the teachers become co-learners. Next, we are going to see about the flexible assessment methods. So, as far as India and many developing countries are concerned, these alternative assessment models are not in effect, but most of the international schools, they encourage this alternative assessments like portfolios, reflective journals, digital storytelling, podcast, collaborative projects, multimedia presentations, and peer evaluations. Okay, so as a personally as a teacher, apart from the static curriculum assessment methods, sometimes I use one or two assessment methods in my classes. These methods encourage deeper engagement and authentic learning. For example, our reflective journals allow students to analyze their own learning journey. A podcast project may improve communication and research simultaneously. Collaborative assignments develop teamwork and negotiation abilities. Such assessments mirror real-world professional practices more effectively than isolated written examinations. Another important benefit of flexible assessment is reduced anxiety. So sorry to say this. See, we have a special exam called NEET in India to qualify for getting a medical seat here called NEET. Okay. So at least you see from a rural side, at least per year, we get one, we come to know at least one or two suicides out of anxiety on the exams. Okay, so to reduce all these things, the assessment methods must be different. Okay, so serious actions are taken against to that, but still it's going on because many students possess strong intellectual abilities, but they struggle under rigid exam conditions. Most importantly, learner-centered education fosters ownership. When students actively participate in learning processes, they became more motivated, reflective, and responsible. Education then moves beyond compliance towards genuine intellectual engagement. So the learner-centered education makes the classroom becomes not merely a place of instruction, but a collaborative learning community. Next slide, please. Okay, so far we have discussed about the positives and the importance of curriculum innovations and the innovative materials and all. But this is important to discuss about the challenges also. So when we go for a curriculum innovation, the challenges. The first challenge is digital inequality. the most urgent challenge is not pedagogical, it is a structural one. So, you see, in a rural background in India, most of the students, they don't have a reliable laptop. They don't have a consistent broadband access. They don't have a quiet space to study. When we design online first, AI-powered technological dependent curricula without addressing the infrastructure gap, we are not innovating. When we do this, we are not innovating. We are excluding a group, a developing group or an underdeveloping group. Curriculum innovation must always be designed with equality as its center, not as an afterthought. The next challenge is resistance to change. Educational systems are often deeply rooted into tradition. Many educators feel uncertain or uncomfortable about adapting unfamiliar technologies or innovative pedagogical approaches. This hesitation is understandable. Teachers already manage significant responsibilities, and sudden transformation can feel overwhelming without adequate support or training. Sorry. Therefore, professional development becomes essential. Institutions must create supportive environments where educators can experiment, learn continuously, share best practices, and develop digital confidence. Innovation should not become a pressure, and it should become an empowerment. Next, the third challenge is over-dependence on technology. Actually, this challenge is perhaps most ironic in this modern era. Given everything we have celebrated today, but while technology offers extraordinary opportunities, excessive reliance may reduce meaningful human interactions. Students do not learn only from content. They learn through dialogues, encouragements, emotional connections, mentorships, ethical guidance, and classroom community. So these things are mostly affected when the students are over dependent on technology. Even though I generate contents through AI with the support of AI, for every point, I just think my students in that place, and I just think how to encourage my students to talk more on this topic, how to connect with my students emotionally, how to mentor my students better, and how ethical guidance could be given, and how to make a community inside the classroom. Okay, and these are all not possible when both the teacher and the student are over dependent on technology. Next slide, please. Okay, what will happen in future for a teacher and a learner? Say today's classroom, in many places today's classroom, and in many places tomorrow's classroom will be a hybrid, flexible, technology assisted, globally connected, and learner centered. And it will need a kind of new kind of educator. Many requirements are there, but I'm going to take the major 5 aspects of a future educator, the roles of a future educator. So the first thing, a educator must be an innovator. A future teacher cannot really soul on inherited teaching methods. They must continuously experiment with new pedagogies, digital tools, interactive learning strategies, and interdisciplinary approaches. And the second quality of an educator is how to become a facilitator. The teacher is no longer simply a transmitter of information, because information is already everywhere, it is accessible easily. Instead, the teacher should help the students to interpret knowledge, connect ideas, ask critical questions, and apply learning meaningfully. The third role of an educator, becoming a researcher. The effective educators continuously reflect on their own teaching practices. They observe students' response, analyze outcomes, and seek improved methods. Teaching and research should not remain separate activity. Reflective teaching itself become a form of educational research. The fourth quality is becoming digital citizens. The educators must be more responsible and ethical technology use, and they have to discuss with the students on online ethics, which includes privacy, academic integrity, media literacy, AI responsibility, and respectful digital communication. And the last quality and the very important quality of a future educator is become lifelong learner. The interrupted era ensures that learning never truly ends. Teachers must continuously update knowledge, skills, technological literacy, and pedagogical understanding. A teacher who stops learning may eventually struggle to connect with changing educational realities. Most importantly, future education almost nurture humanity alongside technology. So students need more than employability skill. They are in need of compassion, ethical awareness, creativity, emotional resilience, global understanding, and social responsibility. The best educators inspires not merely academic success, but meaningful human growth. The last slide, please. We began today's presentation with a word called fluid. We have spent nearly 40 minutes for exploring what it means for a syllabus to be fluid, what it means for curriculum to be innovative, what it means for material to be authentic, what it means for assessment to be genuinely purposeful. So now I want to bring all those threads together. The traditional static syllabus, that is the document that is written once, photocopied one, and used unchanged for next 3 years, can no longer address the complexities of contemporary education. The world moves too fast. That's why our students deserve better. That's the reason the educators, we must do better. Embrace the fluid syllabus, become flexible, adaptive, and learner-centered. Not because it is fashionable, not because international ranking demanded it, but because our students sitting in front of you, trusting us with their intellectual formation, deserve a curriculum that meets them where they are and prepare them for where they are going. Curriculum innovation and material design are not administrative tasks. They are acts of professional love. They are the ways we say to our students, I have thought carefully about what you need, and I have designed this experience with your growth in mind. For every session, we have to inculcate this thought to the student's mind. And through all of this innovation, through all of the disruption transformation, one thing remains unreplicable, that is human values. Empathy, the ability to genuinely understand another experience. Wisdom, the judgment to know which tool to use, when, and why. Creativity, the capacity to see what has not yet been imagined. The ethical leadership, the courage to do the right thing even when the algorithm suggests otherwise. Education will always be, as its core, human relationship. A relationship between those who have learned and those who are learning. A relationship built on trust, care, challenge, and possibility. That relationship is what no disruption can destroy and what no technology can replace. With this note, I end my presentation here. Thank you, everyone, and look forward for your conversation.
Thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Sridevi. Well, that's phenomenal, a truly eye-opening exposition from you, Professor Sridevi. Thank you for injecting that vital global lens, proving that while our geographical context may vary, our mission to revolutionize language education remains fundamentally unified. Thank you very much. Well, everyone, we already moved to the last sessions. That's question and answers from the speakers. So here, for Professor Rai and Dr. Syarifah Kurniati, as well as you, Sister Sridevi, Dr. Sridevi, there is a friend of mine, Professor Leek, Andrew, Joe, and Studio 18. It means there are some students there looking at us also, my old friends there. So they have a questions. Hopefully you can answer. Starting from Prof Rai, I think, yeah. Prof Rai, and then moving to Sister Syarifah, and then my lovely old friend Sridevi. The question is, question to all presenters, in what ways has your universities, I think your universities in Politeknik Bali, and then in Ternate, and also you in as RM in Chennai, Sridevi. In what ways has your university digital collaborations ecosystem shift student mindsets from competitive isolationisms toward shared intellectual ownerships? And then the second question, also from Professor Gellert and my old friend Yin, he wants to know about Kampung Inggris Bali, Prof. Rai. So directly you have two questions. Are you still here, Prof. Rai?
Yes,
Yeah, again, the echo. But it's okay. We try to answer which one. From both of them is from Professor Gerald, and one of them from Professor Lees and friends. Which one? Do you want to explain Kampung Bali? Kampung Inggris Bali at the first time, or the question from Professor Lees and friends? Time is yours, Professor Rai. I think he tried to move another place to get a good connection. Okay. Thank you very much. Deep appreciate from me and all of the committee and all of the English Language Education's department, UINSI Samarinda, from all over people, participants online here, especially our deep, lovely, our deep warmth from to Professor Lakes, Andrew, Joe, and some friends in Studio 018. Thank you very much. That's a place that we always talk and chit chat and have a little bit gossip, I think. And also, thank you very much, Yin, Gerald, as well as Professor Haminata. Actually, there are three of them, but I think, yeah, but it's okay. Thank you very much. Are you still
Yes,
there?
Ms. Dina.
Okay, Prof. Rai.
Yeah.
Go. Thank you.
Mm. I think I'm still confusing with the first question, Ms. Dina. What is the first question?
The first question is, in what ways has your university's digital collaboration ecosystem shift student mindsets from
Uh-huh.
competitive isolations toward shared intellectual ownership?
Mm. Okay. In what way?
I think it is based on your experience. Maybe they would like to go to your campus and then do research. And then don't forget me, Mr. Leeds. Meeting you
Mm.
again in Bali, yeah?
Okay, Mas Dina. Okay, I hope my answer will be okay for this question. I think Politeknik Negeri Bali now is moving, yeah, from okay, using a traditional way of teaching, traditional education into yeah, what is that, modern or current approach, yeah. And then digital education, digital approach, digital what assistant is also now is being encouraged, enriched, and by my institution. And then yeah, we are using, teachers and students in my polytechnic are using, of course, digital mindset. They use any platform like AI, Gemini. We let them to use this, but again, in terms of to help them to do their work, yeah, when they're doing small research, paperwork or something, we let them. But then we check, and then we also check their was that plagiarism, so that yeah, they do not adopt the whole things from the platform. Second, we also, me myself, when teaching English, I cross check them, their understanding, their comprehension by, okay, now can you orally present what you have done in your mind, what you have done with your work, so that I would like to correlate, is your work really understandable, is comprehended, or only you are doing with the AI platform, but you know nothing, you don't, yeah, really tune up with that. So I usually cross check with that, yeah. It means that we are doing that, we are using the platform, we are using the digital things, yeah. We move their mindset from yeah, traditional to modern like this, but again, we ask them to think critically by using the AI, for example, but not totally using AI, but they use it as assistance only, but they have to modify, they have to fabricate, yeah. Okay, for example, okay, can you use your own word? Can you word by your own word, for example? Yeah, yeah, that thing. The second will be about KIB. In what case, Miss Dina?
I don't think so, but I'm not really sure what Professor Gerald
Mm.
Yin and Matas I think they would like just to know anything about Kampung Inggris
Oh,
Bali.
okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Kampung Inggris Bali. Yeah. The name is rooted from Kampung Inggris Pari. Actually, we have been to Kampung Inggris Pari in Pari Kediri, East Java. But then we adopt some things, and then we establish Kampung Inggris Bali. Kampung Inggris Bali is actually an English course which is established and located in a bit remote area. It is in Tabanan area, one of the area or region in Bali, especially Perian. Yeah, and then it is built to help students or youngsters or teenagers or public in Bali who want to learn English with very concentration. So students are housed there. We provide housing or small simple villa, wooden house, and then they get together. They have to be quarantined. They have to work the whole day with English there. So they learn English 5 hours a day, but the rest they have to do activities like cooking, walking around the rice field, and then taking some what's that vegetable in the area, and then they have to use English. Yeah, we also encourage our staff, our societies there who know English to use English when they go to um, Balai Desa, when they go to Bumdes, for example, to Warung, they have to use English. But basically, we would like to make Kampung Inggris like Pare, which is totally in English, and then all part of the societies are using English.
All part
And
of
then
us.
that's it. Yeah, we use public project-based learning. Actually, one of the approach, one of the curriculum, but we also use other curriculum. They study 5 hours a day, so in the morning they will have morning class, which is focusing on learning vocabulary. So we let them to go because Kampung Inggris is located in the agricultural area. We let them go to the forest or to the rice field in the morning, and then to collect a vocabulary or thing they see, and then they have to report to us.
Which
Okay, what
about,
vocabulary have you?
excuse me,
Yes,
Prof, which about in Tabanan?
yes, in Perian, Tabanan,
Oh,
Perian village, Tabanan Regency.
okay. I know
Yeah.
Tabanan, but I've never
Oh,
seen Kampung Bali.
sorry. Oh, yeah. Perian, Perian. Okay, maybe I'll see you. Oh, you can check in Instagram KIB,
Yeah,
yeah, Kampung Inggris
right.
Bali, yeah.
Kampung
And
Inggris.
then they have to learn grammar, they have to learn vocab, and then at noon they have to construct sentences by using their vocab. They have to practice. They have to present what they see. For example, they see ducks or cow, yeah, on the pathway in the rice field. They have to explain cow, where is it, who feed the cow, what happened, what do the people do with that, yeah. And then at night we have also speaking class, like um they call it what's that speaking country. Speaking country, this is just the name. Actually, this is a plan speaking program. Plan mean teacher give topic to the student, and then 5 minutes they have to prepare, like they act as if they face speaking test of IELTS. So 5 minutes they have to prepare, they have to mind map their mind, and then they speak. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the last topic at night around 9 o'clock, it is called impromptu. Yeah. Okay, now I'll give you one topic directly. You have to present in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
So every day, even we have to do this, and then yeah, hopefully they can improve their English. yeah, rapidly.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in a short time, Yield, Gerald, and me will go there.
Well,
And
welcome. Okay,
as
welcome.
usual, Mr. Gerard pay my ticket.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very
Accommodation
much.
is free, so
Yeah, free, Prof. Gerald. Listen,
yeah,
free,
yeah. Free for
and not
accommodation.
free for my
Okay.
ticket, Prof. Gerald and you. Do not forget my ticket. Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Rai. And then
Okay.
we also need a perspective from this question from Dr. Syarifah as well as Dr. Sridevi. What about you?
Me first?
Yep.
Oh,
Time is
yeah.
yours,
Thank you.
Dr. Syarifah.
Okay, thank you for the question. Yeah, I will try to answer based on my context where I work. Khairun University is the university in North Maluku, which is one of remote provinces in Indonesia. Yeah. In Khairun University, the digital collaboration ecosystem has gradually shifted students from competitive and individual learning toward more collaborative and shared intellectual practices. But as a remote area university, students previously faced challenges such as limited academic resources, so very lack of books in the library, and it's not like universities based library like in Universitas Negeri Makassar or other university state university in Indonesia Tengah. So students previously faced challenges, like resources, geographical isolation, unequal internet access, especially, in my faculty, the internet didn't work for 3 months for this semester. So it's very hard for me to do like Google Classroom activity or like e-learning is very difficult. And also, those challenges often encourage individualistic learning habits because we are lazy. Like if I ask them to work in project, but they need internet access, so they are lazy to do that. So they prefer to do by themselves. However, the use of digital platforms like Google Classroom, sometimes we use it like Zoom, WhatsApp groups, online discussion forums has created great opportunities for collaboration actually, but the problem or peer learning, but the problem back to again internet access. But there was a phenomenon during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. Students increasingly share learning materials, discuss assignments together, exchange academic information, and supported one another in overcoming technological and connectivity limitation. So although challenges such as unstable internet connections and limited digital literacy still remain, digital collaboration at Khairun University has encouraged students to become more communicative, cooperative, something like that. They learn they are in the process. Actually, Khairun University is still in the process from analog to digital. So little by little, step by step, we do it. Because nowadays we cannot live without internet connection, but the main problem in remote province is access or internet stability. So I think that's all that I can share related to my context at the university I work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sister Syarifah Kurniati, your campus is in Ternate, ya?
Yes, North
Ternate, don't
Maluku.
worry, sisters. Even you feel that you are in a remote province, but you have Serli Juanda.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
so proud of
I really
her.
love her. What about
Yes,
you? Do you like her?
of course,
Okay.
of course. Yeah, I love
Have you
her.
met have you met her, Sister
Face
Syarifah?
to face, yes, I have. She's so beautiful and smart.
Yeah, like you, yeah.
Thank you. I hope so. Yeah,
Juanda has captured significant positive attentions in the higher
yes.
education sectors. I
I'm
do
with
believe
you.
that.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
For especially for early childhood and secondary schools. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm talking about the university because we are center based to Kementerian.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pemprov didn't do much for us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but sometimes
Uh-huh.
if we ask for help from the Pemprov,
Mm-hmm.
they always support us.
Yeah. My brother-in-law, sometimes they move to Ternate for works from the company.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Maybe
Yeah.
next time
Mining?
I will ask him to meet you. And my favorite, what we call it? Oh, my favorite governors.
I see.
She
I
has
see.
actively shifted the region relationship with higher education institutions. I follow her YouTube. I follow also
TikTok.
her Instagram. Yeah, TikTok. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh, I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it. I love
I
it.
love her. She is my neighbor actually.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Just cross the street.
Okay.
Next
Prof.
door.
Rai, we will
Neighbor.
go to Ternate also.
I hope so. Yeah. I will talk with my Kaprodi to
I
make
will
more
go there
sense of
with
this.
Prof. Geral, Prof. Lates, and they will
Sure.
pay me.
Come to see the spicy island.
Okay.
Spice
Yeah.
island.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. And what about you, Sister Sridevi? You also have two questions here. One from, are you still with us, Sister Sridevi? The committee? Will you help me, MC, and all of the committee that Sridevi already left or still with us?
Yes, Miss Sridevi is already left here.
Already leave?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, no worries. So just keep the answer of our students. I think this is Indah Nur Hafizah UINSI. Maybe Professor Rai and Sister Syarifah Kurniati, would you like to help us to answer from our beloved young lady? I have a question. You mentioned that over dependence on technology may reduce human interaction in education. Okay. Nowadays, many students prefer asking AI for quick answer instead of discussing directly with teachers or lecturers. So what about this, Prof. Rai and Dr. Syarifah? Do you think this shift could weaken the meaningful academic dialogue? If so, how can educators remain relevant as discussion partners? Oh, lovely question, yeah.
Excuse me, I think it's not I didn't mention about this issue. Maybe for Prof.
You feel like this because you don't have good in lousy internet connection?
I didn't talk about this issue, I think.
Yeah, at the first time, yeah, before this one, you said you have no connection, lousy internet connection for
I see.
so you don't want to answer this one. It's not fair enough. Okay, let's ask Prof. Rai, our tameng. Prof. Rai, what do you think?
Yeah.
Students just want to talk with AI rather than us as a teacher.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is nice question. Actually, this is the spirit of what we have to do with project based. Yeah, because AI was considered to be the era of what distraction. Yeah,
Yeah.
era of, yeah. This is the mass era actually. Mass era with AI, with technology now, with crisis and also pandemic. Yeah. To me, students are allowed to consult with AI as far as they need, in terms of they have to consult the vocab, they have to consult the meaning of things, they have to raise and enrich their language repertoire. But then since character 21st character, yeah, with 6 C's, yeah, critical, communicative, collaborative, computational, culturist, and so on, require them to be good, to be adequate alumni or workforce to work in the future. So they have to anyway build their character. They have to gain the character. So for me, educator have to empower any method of teaching in order for the student to be able to keep this character. Yeah, and then project based to me is one of the good thing.
Yeah.
We ask to raise their topic. We ask them to give feedback on the topic, and then agree or disagree with the topic, and then propose the topic. Second, we give them stages, pace, or steps of doing project, and then they have to collaborate. So we don't give them fixed curriculum, which is textbooks, but we let them do things. Yeah, and then what we have to assess is their output, how much they can maybe develop, fabricate, how much they can modify, how much they can produce with good output. Yeah, maybe for example, if they talk about rice paddy, maybe finally they have to be able to perform presentation, for example, and then good brochure and good article for news. And then to me, in daily classroom where I teach, I'm teaching English for mechanical engineering department. I'm teaching English for AC and pendingin, tata udara. I ask them to, okay, you can go to the workshop, see part of air conditioner, and then find out this thing, and then you have to explain, you have to describe, you have to report. Yeah. When they are able to report, meaning that they maybe memorize good thing. Yeah, they can memorize what they write, they can memorize what they construct. So when they are able to present smoothly, fluently, with good pronunciation and good grammar and good form, language form, I give them good score. Yeah, I score them high. It means that okay, they are success. To me, when they are able to perform this, they can have good character. I think they can good. They pass. Yeah, they can get good character because they are not presenting while reading, so they can memorize things. Yeah, yeah. So to me, they are allowed to chat GPT, but again, they have to construct, they have to modify, they have to rebuild and reword the ideas. Yeah, yeah, that is what I'm thinking about. Miss Dina, thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. And last but not least, maybe we can have a new idea, Sister Syarifah.
Yeah.
Because in this platform there are also my boss. There are Dr.
I think
Dr.
I think
Safa, and then Mrs. Rosanti Toba and Mr. Azwar Parama. I think if it is possible, yeah, sisters, if necessary, draft a proposal to secure an opportunity to study and expand our network at Kampung Bali Inggris, ya. Kampung Inggris Bali, I think.
Bali, okay.
It is better. And you can have draft a proposal and give to Sherly Yoanda's sister Syarifah. So we met
Yeah,
together.
to send younger education to
Yeah,
learn
younger
this in
education like us, yeah. We are younger.
because Shirley focuses on younger education,
Yeah,
like secondary and
it's
yeah,
okay. We
secondary.
also feel younger if we are
Yeah.
around them.
What is age?
What is age?
Oke, what is age? Oke, yang tadi sepertinya sounds that I have to answer yang pertanyaan tadi from my perspective ya. Yeah, as a lecturer, over dependence on AI may weaken meaningful academic dialogue because students may focus only on getting quick answer than developing critical discussion, critical thinking, or reflection. In the context of Khairun University, yeah, especially for my students in English education, AI is helpful for overcoming limitation in remote areas, yeah. But because AI can be the most important resources rather than books, because very limited books in the library at the faculty I work. But education is not only about access to information, I think. Human interaction remains important for building critical thinking, as I said, communication, empathy, especially for empathy and deeper understanding, attitude. So educators should remain relevant by becoming mentors. Ya, so ini adalah our roles and discussion partners. I hope we can be discussion partners who can help students critically evaluate and reflect on information produced by AI. Jadi they just don't accept mentah-mentah, but they have to evaluate and reflect the information rather than simply acting as a source of knowledge. That's the
Yeah,
most important in education, I think.
yeah, that's right. And then my bestie is my AI. Every my
You know,
bestie is my AI, Prof. Rai. Okay, hopefully all of the students or
mhm.
everyone to participate in this platform have a beneficials and then happy, get knowledge, what we call as we draw the committee TBI or English Language Education's Department UINSI, draw the curtains on this world-class international Studium Generale. So hopefully let us carry forward one irrefutable truth. Disrupted era does not signify the end of the structured learning. It signifies the glorious dawn of the fluid syllabus. Yeah. Then on behalf of the English Language Education Study Program and the Faculty of Tarbiyah and Teacher Training, I extend myself and all of the committee extend my deepest gratitude to our three phenomenal speakers for sharing their unparalleled eruditions today. To our audience, thank you very much for your time. For all of my old friends outside there in New Zealand, thank you very much. Lovely to have you as one of my bestie beside AI. Your energy was nothing short of magnetic. And then I think we only have one prize, yeah, MC. That's name is Indah Nurhaliza.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah. So time is yours, Miss Tiara Surya Amelia. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you very much, Sister Syarifah and Blirai.
You are
Time
very
is yours,
welcome.
MC.
All right. Thank you to the moderator, to Miss Dina Destari,
Excuse
and
me,
all.
Miss Tiara.
Yeah,
Excuse me,
yes, Miss.
MC. Would you like to take a picture for a while?
Yes, we
Okay.
have teacher sessions in the
Okay,
end.
thank you.
All right. thank you for the moderator and all speaker for the engaging discussion, and also to all participants for the enthusiastic questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally arrived at the end of today's program. On behalf of the committee, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all speakers, moderators, lecturers, and participants. So before we conclude, I have an exciting announcement. We have selected one, I think, participant who will receive special prizes. So don't worry, the committee will contact the winners directly through your registered email or phone number. So congratulations. And now, before we leave the Zoom meeting, let us have a photo session. So for everyone, please turn on your cameras and give your best smile. The documentation team will take the pictures now. I think we can start with the slide one. I will count in 3, 2, 1. Okay, for the next slide, I count from 3, 2, 1. All right, give your best smile. For the next slide, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know how to give you a best smile like this. Syarifah, come on, Syarifah.
Yes.
Prof, is it possible for you like this, please?
Yes,
It's okay. Once again, I think. One,
Okay.
two, three.
We'll give you our best style. I will count 3, 2, 1.
Thank you very much, Blirai. Thank you, Sister Syarifah. Thank you.
You are very
Tiara,
welcome.
and all of you.
All right, thank you very much, Miss, and all of the speaker. I am Tiara Surya Amalia, your Master of Ceremony, and I would like to apologize for any mistakes throughout the event. Thank you for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wabarakatuh.